Jesus, you, I'ma follow you, 'cause I realize it's all about you.
Hello everyone, you're welcome to episode 50 of Weekly Nuggets. This episode happens to be the final in the 3-part series on love for the month of February. In the last 2 episodes, we have discussed what love is and the 12 characteristics out of the 15 characteristics of love. In this episode, we are discussing 3 more characteristics of love to make it 15 and the importance of love. Our foundational text is still 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to verse 8. The 13th characteristic of love is that love always hopes. This kind of love knows that God is still working in us and on us. And so a hope-filled love encourages others to push on, to hold on to the faith, knowing that God is still at work and He will complete every good work He started in us. The 14th characteristic of love is that love always perseveres. Love encourages one another to hold on to the faith and to press on even in the most difficult kind of trials. The 15th and final characteristic of love is that love never fails. This kind of love goes beyond the boundaries of ordinary love. It is divine, it is from God, and it never ceases. That's why in the Bible, God has told us several times that He's always with us. His love never fails. So when everything else fails, when everybody else walks away from us, we can be sure that God is there for us, and His love for us is steadfast, it remains, it will never fail. So throughout the Bible, He's assured us, He's told us that even when we walk through the fire and through the water, He is with us. David understood this kind of love. That's why he said that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for God is with him. Yes, God is also with us. He's told us that He will never leave us nor forsake us. So when everything else fails, we can rest on God's love because God's love never fails. Love is a very powerful and necessary ingredient. In fact, it is a mandatory ingredient in the life of every Christian. This is why love is important. In the Bible, a Pharisee wanted to know the most important commandment in the Bible. So he approached Jesus and asked him. Let's read Matthew 22, verse 36 to 39. The Message Bible translation says, "Teacher, which command in God's law is the most important?" Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your passion, your prayer, and intelligence. This is the most important, the first on any list, but there's a second to set alongside it. Love others as well as you love yourself. These 2 commands are pegs. Everything in God's law and the prophets hang on them." So Jesus likened love to pegs, the one that we use to hold our clothes on the drying lines. So if we do not have love, whatever we hang falls off because there are no pegs to hold it to the line. That's why love is important in the life of every Christian. The 2 most important details in our lives as Christians is, first of all, our total and complete love for God. And equally important is our love for our brothers, our neighbors. In the Bible, Jesus described love in 2-fold. He says that we first of all have to love Him and then love our neighbors. So we cannot love our neighbors and not love God. Neither can we love God and not love our neighbors. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 20 to 21, I read the Message Bible translation. He says, "If anyone boasts, I love God, and goes right on hating his brother or sister, thinking nothing of it, he's a liar. If he won't love the person he can see, how can he love the God he cannot see?" So God's command is blunt. He says, love me, love your neighbor as well. If you haven't loved the person in front of you, what makes you think that you can love God whom you cannot see? If you're in that situation, then your love is not genuine. You need to love God and love man as well. You have to love both. This episode draws down the curtain on our discussion on love for the month of February. In the last 2 episodes and in this, we have discussed what love is, the 15 characteristics of love, and why it is important to have love as a Christian. Now, we must not forget that love is the fruit of the Spirit, and without the Spirit, we cannot bear that fruit. So it is important to ask the Holy Spirit for help to love God and to love man as well, because like we have studied, love is in twofold. We first need to love God and then love our brothers and sisters whom we see. My name is AJ. Thank you for staying with me throughout this series. I pray that you will be able to love as God expects us to and as He has loved us. Now, if you haven't liked my page on Facebook, Weekly Nuggets, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, AJ17, please do so. You can also follow me on Instagram at Weekly Nuggets. Please share the video and invite your friends to watch. God bless you.